You are now listening to the Vitalize Podcast. Hey yo, what up, family? Welcome back to the Vitalize Podcast. I am here as your friendly neighborhood host, Mr. Marcus Black, excited, elated, and ecstatic to see you and to be in your presence, man. What a day, what a day, what a day, what a day. You know why it's an incredible day? Because you woke up in time and not out of time. You know why it's an incredible day? Because you are beautiful, and I don't care who said otherwise and who mistreated you. Tell them that it's time for them to chill out. M Black Speaks said, I am remarkable. M Black Speaks said, I am a masterpiece. And guess what? You better believe it. And they better not deny you. If they do, tell them, find me, so I can tell them the truth about you. Truth about you is that you are incomparable. Truth about you is that you are remarkable. Truth about you is you are splendiferous. I don't know if that's the word, but it's going to be one today because I like the way that it sounds. And the truth about you is you are a tremendous gift. If you just needed some affirmations and you don't know how to affirm yourself, sometimes you just need to borrow somebody else's belief until your belief kicks in. So my belief in you, borrow it, because I believe in you big time. That's why I continue to show up and do these episodes for you. It's about you, family. It's no other reason than you. You matter to me. And maybe sometimes I believe in you more than you believe in you, and that's okay. Borrow my belief till yours kicks in, and we're going to keep the party train rocking and rolling because we can. So I just want to do a brief thank you to all of those who are listening, all of those who have been sharing, all of those who have been messaging me. Man, shout out to y'all. Y'all have made my absolute day better just by being you, just by being incredible, just by being remarkable. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Cannot thank you enough. So keep sharing, keep caring, tag in Black Speaks, send your boy some messages. I want to talk about one today that I think is really going to help you. I want to talk about the importance of mastering emotional intelligence. Mastering emotional intelligence. And some of you are like, what the heck is emotional intelligence? And what does that have to do with anything? You've probably heard it thrown around. Matter of fact, I heard that I graded really high on it when I was applying for a job, and they were like, oh, you're remarkable. You have an incredible emotional intelligence rating. Your emotional IQ is great. My actual IQ also, I just found it out through a test. So, if you wanted to know, my actual IQ is a 122. So if you look up what an IQ of 122 is, apparently I fall somewhere it's like above 90% of the average world population. So I thought that was pretty cool. I'm like, dang, maybe I am a little bit smart, And for people my age, I was like, there's a bell curve, and mine was like way on the other side down the curve. So I'm not like genius level, but I was like getting close. Superior is what my actual title was on the grade scale. So I'm like, I'll take it. So listen, they say birds of a feather. Rewind. They say birds of a feather flock together. I try to say feather and flock at the same time. It got feather. Birds of a feather flock together. So if I'm a genius, if I'm superior, you're superior too, because you rock with me. So let's go and all be superior together because we can. But that's the actual intellectual IQ. We're talking about emotional IQ today, your emotional IQ. And what role does that play in success? Why does it matter? And how do you do something about it? I'm so glad you asked. So let's talk about what it is first, and then let's talk about what I got to give to you, because I got something to give to you. So emotional EI or emotional EQ, either way, is the ability to understand, to use, and to manage your own emotions and recognize and respond to the emotions of others. It is your ability to understand, to use, and to manage your own emotions, as well as your ability to respond to the emotions of others. Oh, man. Okay. So in order to understand this conversation and why it matters, I mean, come on now. It's your emotions are everything. Your emotions, if not mastered, and that's what this talk is about, will lead you astray. They will lead things awry. They will destroy you. They will destroy your business. They will destroy your relationships. You're like, wait, emotions aren't bad. They're not. And I will never vilify emotions. Sadness is not bad. I used to think sadness was bad. Shout out to Disney and Pixar, or whichever one of them it was, that came out with the movie Inside Out, that really helped understand the purpose of sadness. Sadness serves a purpose. You were given it for a reason. All emotions serve a purpose. Anger, something like, I wish I wasn't so angry. Anger is in itself is not bad. Anger serves a purpose. It's just when it's uncontrolled that it's bad. Fear, that's a big one. Everybody love to talk about fear. You know how many people in my field, never fear, never fear. You are here, never fear. I'm like, I would never tell a human being, never fear. Don't have fear. You know, that's like unrealistic. It's not possible to have no fear. Now, to be courageous, though, is different. To be courageous is not the absence of fear. It's showing up in spite of your fear. I'm a fan of courage and being courageous, not being fearless, because I don't think being fearless is a thing. You know why? Because fear is another emotion that was given to you for a reason. Fear was given to your body as an emergency response to protect you. So let's say you're driving towards a cliff and you see the edge and you see a stark drop off. Your heart is going to sink to the pit of your stomach and you're going to feel physical fear, which produces an anxiety response, which is telling you stop before you go man overboard. That serves a purpose, to protect you. Fear is only bad when misguided and without proper boundaries. Ooh, some of y'all about to get set free today. You're going to get set free through this conversation. So my point in talking about emotional intelligence is understanding the role emotions play in your success journey. Emotions often get vilified. You shouldn't. Matter of fact, let me speak to my women right quick. My women. That sounds crazy. Definitely got a ring. Definitely married. Let me speak to my beautiful sisters, the queens and the ladies of the Vitalize community. That's a better way to say that. Let me speak to y'all. And I want to speak to y'all from my heart, because it's you who often get vilified for having emotions, even though men be emotional too. And some of them be more in their feelings than you, but want to call you out and make you feel like the villain for being in your feelings. Okay. Don't you ever let a man gaslight you into feeling like your emotions are not valid and that they are toxic. It's often the women, my dear sisters and the queens, who struggle with, man, if I just wasn't so emotional. Guess what? I don't know if you noticed or not, you were wired that way. All humans have them, but you were wired specifically to respond to emotions differently. It's literally in your genetic makeup. So why are you giving yourself grief for having emotions? And why are you letting other people vilify you for feeling emotions? Emotions in themselves are not bad. It is okay to feel emotion. It is okay to express emotion. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. If you don't hear me say nothing else, to my beautiful sisters, all the ladies, not single ladies, all the ladies that are struggling with that, it's okay to have emotions. It's okay. Now, flip side of the same coin. Emotions unchecked, though, will be to your detriment. Emotions without boundaries, to your detriment. Emotions without understanding, to your detriment. So emotions in themselves are not bad. So also to my men who feel like you just got to go and be a silver surfer all the time, you got to be a super soldier, because you're not allowed to express yourself. You're not allowed to express emotion for being taken for weakness. Some people will judge you. I'm not going to say they won't. People will judge you for showcasing and showing emotion. I don't care. Anybody who loves me will never judge me. Some people judging me for having this conversation. I don't care. I don't care. I love it. I don't care. Because nobody who knows me and cares about me and wants to see me win will ever judge me. So the people who mind don't matter. And the people who matter don't mind. Oh, I'll say that one more time. The people who do mind don't matter. And the people who matter don't mind. So don't be so worried about judgment. Now, you also, though, have to create proper boundaries for your emotions. Because without emotional intelligence, to your detriment. I'm telling you, there's no possible way things work out for you if you let your emotions rule you. You have to deal in the realm of facts, not so much feeling. So you just be like, I just feel ugly. Yeah, but you're not ugly. You're beautiful. But I just feel fat. You're not fat, bro. Sis, I just feel stupid. You're not stupid. I just feel like nobody likes me. I just feel like unwanted. I just feel like I don't matter. I just feel like those are emotions, attached feelings attached to emotions that have not been treated with the proper boundaries. So they're taking you out. And you just needed somebody to care enough about you to wake you up to get you out of that. So now that we understand what emotional intelligence is, let's talk about the individual components that make up an emotional intelligence so we can set a plan for how we can increase it, right? So the first component of emotional intelligence is self-awareness. Self-awareness. So when you're thinking about what self-awareness is, self-awareness is obviously the ability to look at self as you are. It is to be aware of oneself. Okay, what does that mean? We all know what it looks like to have a lack of self-awareness, and that's a lot of people's biggest fears. Like, oh, I just don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that girl that's oblivious that everybody in the room is like, oh my goodness, would you cut it out? You are driving me batty. You're driving me crazy. Most of us don't want to be that guy, that girl, but it's like that one person that just don't really care, and it's like, goodness gracious. So it is your ability to see yourself outside of yourself as others may be perceiving you. So if you have a high sense of self-awareness, then you understand. Like, self-awareness is understand what your strengths and weaknesses are. Do you know that? That's a good place to start. I know that my strengths are communication, empathy. I know that my strengths are connection. I know what my strengths are. You know what my strengths are not? Organization. Organization is the bane of my existence. Literally. So I'm saying that to say that I understand what my strengths and my weaknesses are. Weaknesses, sometimes I'm too nice. Uh, Being nice is a gift. It's beautiful. I believe in kindness, but sometimes I allow myself to be taken advantage of because I'm too nice. So without the proper boundaries, that's a weakness. I understand that about myself. I love to talk. I'm a motivational speaker for a living. So in group settings, and I'm a big, boisterous, booming voice and a big, larger than life personality. So I know that when I'm in a situation or when I'm in a circumstance with someone, I know that when I'm in these situations in a group setting, that I need to be conscious of my words and typically have a word counter in my head because I don't want to dominate the conversation, because people feel like, as a dominating figure in general with this big booming voice, that they just want to let me take control, and they sit back even though they got something to say. So I'm conscious because I am aware of myself. Do you know your strengths and your weaknesses? Do you? What are those? And how can you be more intentional with leaning into your strengths and finding relationships or other people who can help you shore the gap on the places where you're not so strong? Increasing your self-awareness and self-regulation is also a part of your emotional IQ. Self-regulation. What is that? That's discipline. That's discipline. It's like if you're impulsive and you just fly off the handle and you be like, see, my emotions are bad because I'm gonna cuss these people out every which way, and I'm gonna flip this bleep, 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 bleep. So you don't have the prime example of the last two: self-awareness and self-regulation. I am at the airport traveling, tired, multiple flights, headed home. Had a connecting flight, layover, not fun stuff. Get to the city and it's quiet. I'm so delirious. I'm just falling asleep, and there's open seats all around. They're not full yet, but there's a family sitting right across from me with multiple little kids. There's a family sitting a little bit down from them with multiple kids. There's lots of kids around. There's lots of families getting ready to catch our bird. Young man comes over and he already looks like he just, I mean, not to be judging nobody because I don't never want to be that person, but let's just say they weren't a person that looked like they would be up to anything good. I'm just gonna say it. Listen, I'll be honest, tell the truth. Individual sits down and first turns on the phone and is glaring. I mean, glaring, blaring this horrible, toxic music about murder, murder, kill, kill. And I'm like, okay, that's not attractive. That's not great. That's not beautiful. That's not productive. Like, this is a public space in itself. Just playing anything, it doesn't matter what the music that came out was playing anything that loudly is not only a distraction, but it's disrespectful to the people who are around you. But I get it. It's a public place. Nobody owns it. Okay, that's fine. Is what it is, right? Then gets on the phone and just starts this, MF, bleep, bleep, bleepity, bleep, 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 bleep. Little kids sitting right in front of them. Families just sitting there like borderline mortified, but also scared to say something because it's like, what if this guy is angry or takes something out on us? And I could not think of a human being that more exemplifies what it looks like to have a lack of self-awareness, low emotional IQ, and a lack of self-regulation. You have to be able to know that there's a time and a place for everything. If that's how you talk, I ain't judging nobody. Talk to your people like that. But when you get in a professional setting, in a public setting, in a family setting, you need to have the ability to regulate yourself and what comes out of your mouth. You can work on that. You can get more discipline with what you allow to come out of your mouth by practicing. Practicing. Be intentional. Have a swear jar. Fill that thing up. You might pay for your summer vacation, some of y'all with them potty mouths. But it's not for the sake that those words are evil or to vilify those words. It's just to help you learn the discipline of self-regulation to not say certain words in the wrong setting. How many times you be like, oh, that slipped. I shouldn't have said that. People do it all the time. That's kids. I forgot about. You didn't forget about that. It's just such a habit for you. It's become the norm that you don't have the ability or emotional IQ to self-regulate. Straight like that. Another component of self-awareness, of emotional IQ is empathy, motivation, social skills. These are all your components. Empathy, motivation, and social skills. Let's start with empathy. Sympathy is, dang, I feel bad for you. I'm sorry. And then I'm on to the next, on to the next one. But empathy, the ability to empathize is to place myself in someone else's shoes in order to feel the emotions they must be feeling. And that is where human connection happens, which is where healing and growth happens. I don't know if you know this or not, but my man Tito, shout out to Taylor Doe, said that relationships are keys that open doors. In his incredible TED Talk, one of the greatest talks I've ever heard, he said relationships are keys that open doors. If you're looking around at locked doors all around you, locked doors to opportunities, the only thing that's going to open those doors is finding the right relationship who has the key to that door. So in order for you to build those relationships, you have to learn to see people, to hear people, to listen actively without cutting people off because you want to be heard so bad, and to empathize with another human being. I know when I know people who are grieving, I know what it feels like to grieve. Put myself in their shoes, what that must feel like. And after empathizing with them, I'm able to share a deeper level of connection with them because I'm feeling what you're feeling. So I can be present for you when you need somebody present for you. Empathize. You know what that does? It fosters deep depth of relationships. You know what fostering deep depth of relationships does? Not only does it build a community for you, not only does it leave you not alone and well connected, it opens doors that propel you to higher heights in the future. Emotional IQ. Motivation. What is your level of motivation? People think motivation isn't real. That's debatable. But I will say motivation does come from inside. There's intrinsic and extrinsic motivators. I'm not trying to take you too deep into psychology. You can Google those fancy words. Internal, external. Things outside of you, things inside of you. You want to focus on being highly intrinsically motivated. I mean, I'm motivated by the things that I can control, which is me wanting to live my best life. You understanding that, though, is I'm not going to lay around and wallow my life away and eat all the marshmallows in the world and play Chubby Bunny and all the other stuff like that. Shout out to the camp people who know what I'm talking about, them games. No, it's not about that. I'm going to do better. I'm going to live greater. I'm going to think bolder. I'm going to dream and aim higher. I'm going to find my motivation to keep going because I'm here and because I matter. Understanding that. Emotional intelligence. And lastly, focusing on your social skills. Your social skills. Your ability to develop interpersonal relationships hinges upon your level of emotional intelligence. If you're like wildly obnoxious and nobody cares about enough about you to tell you, and I'm not talking about you just having a big personality. Some people will be annoyed. Everybody is obnoxious to somebody. So I'm not talking about the one random person who just don't like people with big energy. I'm not talking about that. I just mean if you're the person that everybody is annoyed by, nobody likes to be around you, that's where there might be a little bit more of a problem and you might need to check on some of these principles and look at yourself in the mirror. But I know none of y'all are like that. I know that's not the case. But I will say that your ability to see yourself, evaluate yourself, make yourself better, and to focus on social skills is the game changer. Your social skills is a game changer. My dear friend, Ophelia Nichols, Mama Todd, many of the world knows her. I mean, freaking the 20 million people that follow her between Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. That's insane. But someone was introducing me recently, and when they were introducing me, talking about how kind and caring and compassionate I am, she chimed in as they were saying they weren't even done yet, and she said, he's everybody's best friend. She said, that guy is everybody's best friend. And that made my heart warm because I'm very intentional with my relationships. And if you've ever had a conversation with me or had a hug from me or been close enough to me to actually interact with me more than just on the internet, then you know that is 100% how I approach you. Nothing is more important than you in the moment. Matter of fact, Carla. Hey, Carla. How you doing, friend? You didn't know I was going to call your name. Carla is an incredible human being that I'm working with to launch a ridiculously remarkable brand called Introspective Wear. And basically what she's trying to tell you is that while you're looking all around the world for things outside of you, everything you need is already inside. Look introspectively to find that power and the resilience to show up as the greatest version of yourself to achieve all your dreams. Shout out to you, Carla. And Introspective World is her Instagram, and Introspective Wear is her clothing brand that she's pushing for women who looking for a mission and a message and a community of women who are like-minded and like-hearted. She didn't pay me to do this, by the way, guys. She's literally just a dear friend whom I'm helping, but I thought about her in the moment. Let me tell you why I thought about her. I was at an event, the Ripple Effect event in Chicago, and I spoke at this event, and afterwards, we had a conversation. We had a brief conversation, 3 to 5 minute conversation. Great conversation. She asked me a couple of questions. Well, months later, she decided she wanted to work with me, so we started a working partnership where I'm now helping her achieve some of her goals and her dreams. In one of the meetings, I started talking about the importance of this part. Building connections, relationships. And I said, nothing's more important than that. And she was talking about balance. And I'm like, well, nothing's more important than a person in the moment. That's how I do that. I focus in that moment. You are the most important thing to me. I said, that's why when we had a conversation, I knew this about you. And I went and I repeated questions that she asked me before I ever knew she was going to work with me. And she was like, I said, you're probably surprised and shocked that I know that. She said, actually, I am. That's exactly what I was just thinking. I said, yeah, you know why? I remember that because you matter to me in that moment. Whether you ever work with me or not, you matter to me because in that moment, nothing else was more important than the connection that I was making with another human. Social skills. Are you looking down at your phone every chance you get when you're in a mid-conversation? Somebody's pouring their heart out to you and you looking at your phone, you looking at your watch like, golly, I got somewhere to be. You might have somewhere to be, but don't make people feel like an inconvenience to you. Do people feel like you're only using them for what you can get out of them? How are you really cultivating long lasting relationships, long term relationships? How are you caring for people where they are rather than just what you can receive from them? I focus on relationships often. I'm here at Rose Records Creative, and I know my brother Taylor's here, and he and his family have had some things that they faced, and we always talk about those things. As much talking as I do on the camera, we do as much off the camera. But that's something that my wife and I've been concerned about. So we've been just praying for his family because that's what we do. So when we walked in the building today, we shared big hugs and there was excitement to see each other. But the first question my wife asks is, how is your family doing? Because we've been praying for them intentionally. That's relationships. That's more important than anything else we're going to do on the camera is what's happening off the camera. How are you doing really? Do you function that way in your relationships? Do the people that you interact with and engage with on a daily basis know that you care? Or better yet, do you actually care? And if not, why not? Challenge. I'm asking you to accept the challenge to look at the role your emotional intelligence plays in your overall success scheme, in the overall success of your business, in the success of everything that you do. Because your emotional IQ is what leads you to the place where I understand me and my emotions, so I'm not going to put myself in a compromising position. And I understand you and your emotions and how to respond to those. And the higher your emotional intelligence is, the more successful you are, because the better you are at navigating people. And the better you are at navigating and leading people, the more people will pay you to both show them the way and to teach and to train and to just want to be around you as a good, positive, productive person on the planet. So raise your emotional IQ because you can. Raise your emotional awareness because you can. Read a book on it. Google it, research it, and put in physical practice steps. And I promise you, as a result, you'll be better, you'll be more loved, more likable, your bank account will be fatter, and everything around you will be greater. So get up, get out, and go do it. And you do it because you can.